Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' Godbreaker at online booksellers today. One of my viewers wanted me to talk about fathers who were trying to be in their children's lives, even though their baby mamas treat them like trash. And this is something that I experienced myself growing up in the South Bronx, and something I saw in the neighborhood as related to many of my classmates. Now, many of these women out here will sit there and try to make themselves out to be a victim of a quote-unquote no-good black man, but don't want to see how they were out here doing wrong to that man as related to him being a part of his own family. Now, many of these women, they are emotionally hurt because this man didn't go out here and meet their expectations, and because that man didn't meet their expectations, they're holding a lot of anger towards that man, and they don't really show him the respect he deserves. Now, many of these women, again, they do this because they had ideas about relationships, and because the man didn't go out here and meet those expectations, they don't want to go out here and submit to that man because they don't trust that man to go out here and lead his family. This is something I go in depth in my book, Why 70% of black women are single, because one of the reasons why many black women and baby mamas are single is because, one, these women did not want to submit to the authority of that man. Two, they did not have faith in that man to go out here and meet her emotional needs and the economic needs of the family. And three, they thought they could go out here and do a better job than that man, and that's why they go out here and devalue everything that man goes out here and tries to do for his family. Now, what's really interesting is that many of these women who go out here and treat the father like trash are Christians. And what's really interesting to me is that while they sit out here and talk about why this man isn't taking care of the family, they don't go out here and have faith in God to trust in the man that he has provided for them. And when you see them, they're sitting there talking about, oh, you need to have faith in God, but they don't really have faith in God to have the man that's with them go out here and provide for the family. So it's very interesting to me how you had many black women who were Christians, again, having this lack of faith as related to the father that they had children with, and that really shows how they're just participating in beliefs that are diametrically opposed to the Bible that they read. And it was one of the things that just really made me really think critically about growing up as a kid in the South Bronx, just seeing how many black women would be going to church saying that they believed in God, but they didn't go out here and have faith in the man that God had provided for them, showing how while they said they believed in God, they didn't want to submit to God's natural order. And that was one of the things that really puzzled me about many black mothers growing up. They would sit there and talk bad about many black fathers, but they would sit there and talk about how they wanted to be a part of God. But it just, again, shows me how they were just out here having pain as related to things not working out, and showing me that they had a double mind because they were out here looking to submit to white supremacy and the welfare state or the corporate job, and they trusted more in the white supremacist welfare state or the white supremacist corporate job than the Most High God, and because they trusted in these corporate institutions and government institutions more than God, they couldn't see how this father was actively trying to go out here and be a part of their lives and still be a part of their children's lives. Because in many cases, this father, if he had no character whatsoever, he could have gone out here and bounced, and that child could have never known about their father. But a man who truly loves his woman and truly loves his kids, he's going to keep trying to be a part of that woman's life. But sadly, many women don't appreciate a man who is just trying to be a part of their lives, because a lot of women, they think that this man is somebody that they can't trust, and because they believe they can't trust that man, they're looking to try to get away from that man, not seeing that this man is the kind of man you really want to have around. Because some women, what happens to them is that they get caught up in the Madison Avenue and Hollywood game, and as they're getting caught up in the Madison Avenue and Hollywood game, they're thinking that this black man isn't a good man, and in some cases they're sitting up there thinking, oh, I can find a better man. But what you've got is a quality brother out here, because a quality brother is going to try to, again, build a family with a woman. And sometimes that brother, while he's made a mistake by sleeping with this woman early on, what has happened is he wants to go out here and commit to this woman. He wants to build a household with this woman, but the woman doesn't want to build a household with this man because she thinks that this black man is less than, and that's one of the reasons why many black women go out here and treat this brother like trash, because they think that this brother is less than them, and they think that they can go out here and, do better than him with either the welfare state or the corporate job. They think they can do better than this man, but they don't really understand what God has blessed them with, because God has blessed you with a quality man, but he's not meeting the standards of Madison Avenue in Hollywood. And that really, again, shows the double-mindedness of many of these women who are baby mamas, because they are out here looking to serve God and mammon, and and the whole thing is that they don't see how they are double-minded. They don't see, hey, God is working on one side to try to give you a good man, and you're supposed to build a family with that brother, but because they don't have strong faith in God, what happens is that they go out here and devalue this man, talking about how he's no good, how he's done all this stuff, and how you shouldn't trust that man. And that really does damage to kids, because those kids don't learn how to get close to their fathers. They don't learn how to go out here and have a relationship with their fathers that is healthy, because oftentimes what happens is that a kid winds up growing up starting to become distant of their fathers, and they never really get close to their fathers and bond with them. And that really impacts a child when they start to get older, because when that child gets older, what they do is they're not able to learn how to submit to male authority figures. And if you have a son who sees his mother bad-mouthing his father, he's going to have problems learning how to respect male authority, like bosses and police officers, because he's seeing his mother go out here and disrespect the first male authority figures. Because if you're sitting up here disrespecting the first male authority figure in front of your son, what you're doing is teaching him not to respect a man. And when your daughter is out here seeing you disrespect a man, what she's learning how to do is follow in her mother's footsteps and not be able to trust a man. And that's going to make it hard for her to have a healthy relationship with a man. But many of these fathers, they're hanging in there with discipline and resolve. And I got to respect those brothers for hanging in there because they understand what's important about their kids growing up. They understand that even if I'm just there visiting the kids, I'm showing these kids that there's a man who cares about them. I'm showing them that there's a man who wants to be in their life. I'm showing them that I'm not running away. I'm showing them that I'm here for you. And that's something that many, again, black women who are single moms don't appreciate because, again, they have this ideal in their lives. And because they have this ideal in their minds, they're hoping to make that ideal become reality. Unfortunately, what makes a lot of these women bitter is that this man didn't give them those ideals, like that big house and those big and expensive cars. Or sometimes these brothers go out here and put in the work, but many of these moms don't appreciate the work because they don't trust this man. They think that he's not able to do for his kids. They're thinking, oh, he's got the job. He doesn't have that big time Madison Avenue corporate job. He's not living this big life. But a lot of these brothers, they can go out here and provide, but the woman doesn't trust him to provide. And that is one of the things that makes it where a lot of kids don't really learn how to appreciate their fathers because they don't really, the mother doesn't go out here and appreciate that man. She doesn't have gratitude for that man and what he's doing. No, they get angry because they hear all sorts of stories about that man from other women, not understanding that a lot of women out here, they get jealous when they see a father taking care of his baby mama, and they'll start spreading rumors and gossip to get you upset because they want to break up your home, not understanding these guys, if he's out here and he's coming back and he's taking care of his kids, he's looking to build with you, but they get upset because, oh, people start telling you stories and start gossiping to you. But women will do that because they want to break up your home and they want to go out here and keep you from having the life. And while you're sitting up here thinking, oh, I can't trust this man, you miss out on a good brother who is actively in his children's lives, and you miss out on a close relationship you could have had with this man. And that's sadly what happens to a lot of people after multiple generations. And again, young brother was telling me that this was happening as related to someone in his own family, and he wanted me to talk about this because I know this from experience. Again, a lot of good brothers out here are actively fathers in their kids' lives, but they can't really get close to their children because their mothers create an emotional wall because they're out here hurting because this man didn't meet their expectations, and they want to go out here and demonize the father. But you can look at that brother and the work he's putting in. I mean, he's putting in things like buying the kids stuff. He's sitting there going out there and talking to the kids. I mean, this is what I grew up with. Again, I had a father who, again, was out here taking me for haircuts. He was taking me to McDonald's, gave me an allowance. I respected all of that because, he didn't have to do that. He could have just went on his way, but he was actively involved in my life and the life of my other family members. And that was something I always appreciated because he didn't have to do that. I mean, a lot of kids out here, when you see your father buying you sneakers and going out here and talking to you, that's something that shows how much that father loves you. But you won't hear that from many women who, again, are still holding on to hurts, and they use those hurts to go out here and treat the man like trash because he didn't meet their expectations. And because he didn't meet their expectations, they didn't want to submit to him. They didn't want to respect his authority. But what they don't understand is if you chose this man for a reason, then you chose to have children with this man, and you need to go out here and respect that man for who he is. And that's something many black mothers don't understand. They don't understand that if that father is still staying in your life, he's somebody there. And again, you don't know what you got until you lost it. And many women, they don't know what they got until it's too late. And then at that point, they're too proud to admit that they've messed up. They're too proud to admit that they had a good man. And they're too proud to admit that they had a good brother who was out here taking care of business, and you kept that man away from his children, and you kept him from teaching your son and your daughter valuable lessons that could have helped them start to actualize their potential. Because you look at one bad experience that you have and not all of the good parts of that man, and that's something many black women do to their child's father. They look at the one bad experience and they don't look at the overall character of that man. Because again, when you look at a lot of these Pookies and these Ray Rays, those guys just basically bounce after they have that child. And even some of those guys bounce when that woman announces that she's pregnant and won't even acknowledge their child, but because they are out here with their feelings, they don't appreciate that good brother who is sticking in his child's life, who is staying in his child's life. And one of the things they don't do is show that man the respect that he deserves for going out here and working those long hours, going out here putting that money in the children's hands, taking care of those kids, and having the faith to stand by his children. Even though this woman has no faith in him, she still stands by that man all the way to those child's graduations, stands with those children as they're going to college. That's what I experienced, but you don't hear the respect from these women. And again, that lack of respect is one of the things that a lot of young brothers are noticing. And I noticed with this brother, he was telling me about this, and they're noticing that the father is there, and they're noticing, hey, this woman isn't showing me respect. And sadly, these women don't show you respect because they have more faith in the corporate system and the welfare state than the black man. And because they have more faith in the corporate system and the welfare state more than the black man, that's why they don't show this father respect. But you can go out here and show your father that respect and show him that gratitude by going out here and showing him respect like I did to my father when he was alive, and saying thank you for all of the stuff that they do, giving them gifts on Father's Day, taking time with them. Again, that means a lot to your fathers, and I'm telling you to appreciate your fathers when they're alive, because when they're gone, you won't have them in your life, and it's about that time that you possibly start seeing, hey, what this man did for you in that time. Now, this was a video requested to me by one of the young brothers out there who was seeing the difference, and I did this for him to show him that he, as a man, is to show the respect to his father, and the best thing he could do is say thank you to that man for everything that he's done, because that really motivates that man to go out here and continue to be a part of your life. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my men's issues books like Why 70% of Black Women Are Single and learn more about why women treat their baby daddies like trash, you can pick up that book in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find it in other online bookstores like Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many black women can't find a husband and why 70% of black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today.